So guys, welcome back to part 2 to elevate your software development skills to the next level with C#. Yeah, in part 1, we looked at introduction to C#. We also looked at the environmental setup. Why do we need to use C#? We downloaded Visual Studio and we installed it. In this video, I'll take you through the syntax of C#. We'll also write our first application in .NET, that is C#. If you've not watched part 1, please go and watch part 1 first before proceeding to part 2. And also, if you find this video helpful, please subscribe so that whenever I upload a new video, YouTube will notify you. Now, let's elevate your software development skills to the next level. This is a simple structure of C#. We have the using statement, we have the namespace, we also have a class, and we have the main method, which is the starting point of the application. A namespace is like a container that holds classes. It also holds methods, functions, and everything. So let me describe a namespace as a container. So let's say we have a namespace called namespace A. We also have classes in, we have methods, and we have variables. We also have another container that is a namespace B. It has also classes, methods, and variables. So a namespace is a container. We also have a using statement. If I want to use the classes in container A, that is the namespace A, I'll go to container B and use the keyword using statement. So that using statement will tell container B that I want to borrow the methods and the classes from container A. If you don't understand, don't worry, because you'll get to understand as we go on. We also look another thing called a class. So what is a class? A class now is a container that holds the methods and the functions. A function is a piece of code that you write to be executed. Also, the main. You also looked at the main. The main is the starting point of our application. Whenever we run our application, there is a starting point. There is the starting point of the application. That is the main function. We have the system.console.writeLine. This is just a code to output a text or a number or anything. It is used to output some stuff in coding. Now, let's head to Visual Studio so that we can write our first application in .NET. So go to your computer, launch Visual Studio. In part 1, we looked at how to install, to download and install Visual Studio. So if you have not watched part 1, please go and watch it. The link is in description before coming to part 1 so that you can understand this thing. So after you've launched Visual Studio, let's create a new project so that we can create everything from scratch. So I'll click here, create new project. So we have here, you select the language, there is the platform and the project type. So we'll select C#. There's other languages like JavaScript, Python, but for our case, in this video, we'll be looking at C#. Also, the project that we want to develop is, let's say, all platform. It will filter. This is just to filter. Come here to search. Let's create a console application. So console application. This console application doesn't have the UI. We'll just use it to understand C#. Click console and click next. You can name the project. Let's say we'll call our project Master C#. Master C# programming. Master C# programming. Select the location where you want to put your project and click next. This is the framework, so leave it as it is. Depending on the time you're watching this video, the frameworks may have changed. So click create and wait for a minute. It will create a console application. Now your application is created, and this is exactly the syntax we were looking at. So these are the namespaces. This is the program class. We have the main method. The namespace is like a container where we'll write our code. It holds the methods and the classes. So you see we have the main method and we have the main class, the program class. So it's like a container. We'll get to know more about classes, methods in the later series. So stay with me. So to run our application, just click here, the play button, start without debugging. And you can see hello world. Congratulations, we have created our first application in .NET. So if you find this video helpful, please subscribe. You can even share, and so that we can elevate other programmers. In our next video, we look at C# in details. We'll start writing some other codes like programs. So that's it in this video. Thank you for listening.